A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a move that has been described as chilling by activists and rights groups, the Iranian state has announced plans to open a treatment clinic for women who defy mandatory hijab laws. This announcement comes amid a rising tide of arrests related to breaches of the dress code, which has been a focal point of dissent in the country since the Woman, Life, Freedom protests that erupted in 2022. Mary Talibai Daristani, head of the Women and Family Department of the Tehran headquarters for the promotion of virtue and prevention of vice, stated that the clinic would provide scientific and psychological treatment for hijab removal. The announcement has elicited outrage from Iranian women and human rights advocates. UK-based Iranian journalist Seema Sabet, who survived an assassination attempt last year, condemned the move as shameful, emphasizing that it represents a chilling separation of individuals from society for not conforming to the ruling ideology. Human rights lawyer Hossein Risi echoed this sentiment, labeling the clinic's concept as neither Islamic nor aligned with Iranian law. The clinic's announcement comes on the heels of disturbing reports regarding the treatment of women in Iran, particularly after a university student was arrested for protesting against hijab enforcement. Following her arrest, she was transferred to a psychiatric hospital, raising concerns about the use of state-run psychiatric services for political repression. Human rights organizations, including Amnesty International, have documented instances of torture, violence, and forced medication being employed against protesters and dissidents deemed mentally unstable by authorities. The crackdown on women violating hijab laws has intensified, with reports of arrests, forced disappearances, and the closure of businesses linked to perceived dress code violations. The Center for Human Rights in Iran highlighted the case of Rashanak Malayi Ali Shah, a young woman who was arrested after confronting a harasser on the street over her hijab. Her current whereabouts remain unknown. The proposed clinic for quitting hijab removal is seen as a direct attempt to quash the growing female dissent that has characterized the post-Amini protests. Daristani asserted that the clinic would focus on promoting dignity, modesty, chastity, and hijab, with attendance claimed to be optional. However, the oversight by the headquarters for enjoining the good and forbidding the evil, an organization known for enforcing strict religious standards, has raised alarm. This department has faced sanctions from the UK and other countries due to its human rights abuses. The anti-hijab movement has gained significant momentum since the death of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman who died in morality police custody after being arrested for not wearing her hijab properly. In response to the protests, the Iranian government has ramped up surveillance, increased the presence of morality police, and barred unveiled women from public spaces. The United Nations has characterized the government's actions as gender apartheid. Following the 2022 protests, several celebrities who shared images without a hijab were mandated to attend psychiatric centers weekly. This systematic branding of non-compliant women as mentally ill has been condemned by Iranian psychiatric associations, which argue that mental health diagnoses should be left to trained professionals rather than judges. Amnesty International has criticized the Iranian government's oppressive measures against women, stating that authorities are attempting to terrorize women and girls into submission through constant surveillance and policing. The situation remains precarious for women in Iran, as they continue to face increasing pressure to conform to the state's stringent dress code while simultaneously fighting for their rights and freedoms. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.